Alrighty, guys, we finally got the producer's letter for 2020. This is going to be going over some of the new content that's going to be coming for the next couple months of Blade and Soul for North America and Europe. This is obviously very important, so we know what's going to be coming each month. This is all the way up to June. We have information, so you have a couple months of new content coverage from this post. Want to talk to you guys in this video about it. Share my thoughts, all that good stuff. So very first thing to talk about is just kind of reflecting on what's been happening. You got the 4th anniversary festival. They're saying hopefully you guys claimed your new stuff. They talked about year 3, which was last year. They talked about the Zen Archer being an extremely popular class. That's not really a surprise because they made the class extremely strong. The DPS is crazy on that class, so of course it's going to be very popular. Overall, I like the class myself too. I have as an old character, sometimes do my daily on it and everything like that. Talked about some statistics. 2019 players leveled up 12 million times. That's pretty crazy. I guess a lot of people have a ton of old characters, right? They also stated that 51 million freaking fish were caught last year. That is a lot of fish. I'm surprised all the fish aren't extinct yet in Blade and Soul, but hey, maybe we have unlimited supply in those rivers. Year 4, this is where we get to some of the information. So they talked about how everyone's thinking about Unreal Engine 4, no lie there. And they mentioned that Korea is launching the Unreal Engine 4 Frontier server at the end of February. This is information that most of you guys are pretty aware of, as I've covered it. Evil Does Harm, Kropi, basically every Blade and Soul YouTuber, Echo Jade has covered it. But basically, February 26th, the Frontier server, which is only up to level 45 content, is coming to Korea. The pre-character creation is available right now, so you can see the character models. We're also still not going to be getting the Frontier server. This is only for Korea and China. They do state that after the Korean launch of Frontier World, we'll be better able to assess the timing for Unreal Engine 4 for the launch of the West. So right now, we don't have a release date for our Unreal Engine 4 launch, but hopefully before the end of 2020. That's the main goal, and that's what they're saying. They're aiming to launch it before the end of this year, and that would be really great because we all need to see that very soon. At least we'll be able to get some footage of Unreal Engine 4 in Korea in a couple days. They also talked about the upcoming roadmap for 2020, just some of the things that we're going to be expecting to see. So in March, we're going to be getting a brand new heroic dungeon, and with that, we'll get a new belt and new necklace. I hope when they release a new belt, they're actually going to reduce the amount of runs you need for Warp Citadel, because right now you have to do 100 runs, which is honestly a lot of runs for an outdated belt. And since they're adding a better tier for next month, I feel like they should reduce it down to 10. That'd be really nice to get the Warp Citadel belt, not have to do that. Maybe that's just maybe my opinion because I need the belt and I don't want to do 100 runs of Warp Citadel, but I think that would be a great idea, and they probably will once they release a new belt tier. But yeah, from the new dungeon, new belt and new necklace will drop. For some reason they keep doing with the new dungeons where they have like 2 legendary accessories dropping now, like how they did with Hangar Zero and now this one. I don't know if I'm really a fan of that because this is a lot of grinding to try to get enough cores to buy both of them, or you just have to get insanely lucky for them to drop. I kind of liked how this was 1 legendary accessory from the dungeon and that was it. I feel like the power increases is too much for doing 2 legendary accessories every single dungeon. It's a little bit too much in my opinion, but we also got a skill update and then Hanwoo level cap increase. I believe this is up to Hanwoo level 35, but don't quote me on it. Then in April, we have the Rise of the Silver Steel story, part 2. So this is the continuation of the Orange quest line that we just got in December. And then we also have the Silver Steel raid, part 1. So this is going to be the new Iron Arc raid that we've been seeing in Korea. I'm assuming for North America and Europe, they're probably going to be nerfing how strong this raid is, because I know in Korea, Iron Arc is ridiculously strong right now. The DPS you need, the mechanics, everything is very difficult. So it's not something I feel like they're going to just allow to come to our region. I'm pretty sure they're going to tune it down just a little bit. At least I would hope so, because our gear is not on the same level as Korea's gear is, and they still struggle with it. So kind of scary. But with the new raid, we're also going to be getting new soul shields and new ring, earrings, and then also a raid event. Not really sure what that's going to be, but maybe I'm guessing when you do the raid, you get little extra bonuses like they've done before. Maybe get like an extra little raid chest. I remember they did that for Twilight Temple when it came out. They're also going to be only releasing one part of the raid, so you'll be able to do a couple of the bosses. You can get the new ring from there, the raid earring and everything, but the final boss will not be available until May. This is something they've been doing for many years now. They did it for Vortex Temple, Twilight Temple. They've done it for all these raids where basically they cut it up a little bit so it gives you time to run the content before they release the final boss and everyone clears it. With the final boss coming out in May, you can get the new weapon tier, which will be above Thornbreaker weapon. So very exciting for the whales out there to do this raid coming very soon. Really, the only unfortunate thing I have to say is the fact that we have to deal with crappy FPS, because I already know that this raid is going to be really bad FPS. I've seen it in Korea. I know for our region it's going to be much worse. It's not going to be really fun. And I was really hoping that we could get Unreal Engine 4 for the next raid, but it looks like we're going to suffer through really bad FPS. That's why I hated ET raid, because the freaking FPS was so bad. Otherwise, I didn't mind the raid, but it's just like the bad FPS and optimization really drags on the fun of the raid. And the fact that we have to do that for another raid tier because Unreal Engine 4 is still not out is really disappointing. And it's kind of scary because Unreal Engine 4 might not come to us until December. You're looking at 7 or 8 months of freaking terrible FPS and optimization for this raid tier. Not really something I'm looking forward to. The raid itself looks really fun, but not looking forward to the performance issues it's going to have in the game. Treasure Pot event is another thing they talked about. I mean, I have no idea what that is, but it sounds like a knockoff version of Treasure Trove. So probably, more pay to win RNG boxes, something like that. Kind of like a knockoff version of the Treasure Trove. Not really exciting for me at least, but hey, you can probably get some really rare items in there if you spend enough money. And then in June, the final thing they talked about is we got Force Master 3rd spec. This is the Lightning spec for Force Masters. Really exciting. Really happy that Force Master is getting theirs. And yeah, we'll have in June. Korea is doing a test version of it right now in February, so we'll have it a couple months later. Pretty awesome for the Force Master players out there. We also have Act 11 story, so we'll have a continuation of the Yellow quest, the main storyline. Also really exciting. I like to see more storyline quests. Even though most people don't really care for a story, I think it's at least kind of interesting. I don't mind playing through it. Then we have another new 6-man dungeon coming out, and then we have a clan renewal and a PvP renewal system. Now, I'm not really sure what these are going to be about. Maybe they mean like a revamp system. If that's the case, I'm actually kind of excited because I feel like clans need to be revamped. The whole system is kind of outdated in my opinion. Most of the rewards are not very good. Most type of costumes you can craft are not very awesome. Most people don't even care for them. I feel like it could be a really better system if they revamped it in 2020. It is very outdated. And I like to see better rewards, maybe even have higher clan levels than there are right now, be able to craft better items, like maybe some really good materials for your clan members, help them out. Everyone help each other out. Like, I don't know, I think it'd be a really cool system if they could revamp it. So if that's the case, I'm very excited. As far as PvP, don't really know what they're doing with that. Maybe they're going to be working on 1v1s and 3v3s in the arena, because as of right now, that game mode is very dead. So maybe they could revamp it and make it good again. So who knows? Then we have a new PvP earring you can option, and then a new accessory enchantment system. Not really sure what that's going to be about. I hope it's not that ancient legendary system that they have in Korea where it's like RNG upgrades. But they said enchantment, so that's a little sketchy. But again, we'll have to kind of wait and see. Not really any information right now. And hey, it's not coming until June, so we could kind of focus on the other content right now. Overall, I do like this communication from them to showcase some future content. I think this is really cool, and this is the communication we really need from them. There's a few things I think they could have been a little bit more open about, like how they said that we've had some great updates, and they act like the Zen Archer update was like super amazing. Like honestly, that update was a total mess. I feel like they could have been a little more open and maybe apologized for it or explained why it was an issue and why it was such a broken patch. Things like that could have been really awesome, but I mean, maybe I'm asking for too much. Overall, I do like this communication, the producer letter kind of highlighting this future content. Very cool. A lot of exciting stuff, and hopefully Unreal Engine 4 will be really good for the game and help the optimization. That's really my biggest hope. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you're most excited about for the next couple months. Appreciate you guys a lot. Sub to the channel, like the video. See you guys next one real soon. And I'm out.